of print has come under pressure in recent years, with the rise of ebooks and digital reading. But nothing beats the look and feel of a paperback, and there's reason to be hopeful yet that people are revisiting the joy of physical books. Some books in particular have matched their literary worth with the price tag. In fact, these are some of the most expensive ever sold. Here we have top 7 most expensive books sold ever. Number 7. Traité arbres fruitiers, means treatise on fruit trees, by Henry Louis Duhamel du Monceau, cost $4.5 million. Definitely the most expensive book ever written about fruit trees, in which 16 different varieties. A copy of this lush have 5-volume set of illustrations, and text sold for about $4.5 million in 2006. Number 6. The Gutenberg Bible, cost $4.9 million. The Gutenberg Bible was the first complete book to be printed from movable type in 1455, and as such was one of the books that changed the world. Understandably, this book has a hefty price tag. But since there was no Gutenberg Bible in Japan in 1987, the Maruzen Company, a Japanese bookseller, purchased an incomplete copy for $5.4 million. There are 49 Gutenberg Bibles known to exist, but only 21 are complete. You can flip through one of them at the University of Texas at Austin's website. Number 5. First Folio, by William Shakespeare, cost $6 million. William Shakespeare's First Folio is one of the most coveted books in the English language, and it has a price to match. One copy sold at auction in New York for $6.166 million in 2001, and 5 years later, another copy fetched $5.153 million. In 2016, a set of the first 4 editions of Shakespeare's First Folios fetched $3.68 million at auction. That included a first edition of the First Folio that had previously not been known to exist. Though the First Folio's original price was a single pound, 1 or 2 more if you wanted it bound in leather, or otherwise adorned, intact copies are now among the most highly prized finds among book collectors, with only an estimated 228, out of an original 750, left in existence. In 2001, Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen purchased a copy for $6,166,000 at Christie's, New York. Number 4. The Canterbury Tales, by Geoffrey Chaucer, costs $7.5 million. A first edition of the 15th century Bodfest sold for £4.6 million, or about $7.5 million at the time, at Christie's in London in 1998. Of the dozen known copies of the 1477 first edition, this was the last to be held privately, and was originally purchased for £6 by the first Earl Fitzwilliam, at the sale of John Radcliffe's library at Christie's in 1776. Talk about growing your investment. Number 3. Birds of America, by James Audubon, cost $11.5 million. In 2000, Christie's auctioned off a copy, one of only 119 known complete copies in the world, of Birds in America for $8,802,500. 10 years later, another complete first edition was sold at London at Sotheby's for £7,321,250, or about $11.5 million. Today another copy of the enormous 4-volume set goes up for auction at Christie's, and perhaps another world record will be made. Number 2. The Gospels of Henry the Lion, by order of Saint Benedict, cost $11.7 million. Originally commissioned by Henry the Lion, Duke of Saxony, for the altar of the Virgin Mary at the Brunswick Cathedral, this Gospel book was purchased by the German government at Sotheby's of London, in 1983 for £8,140,000, or about $11.7 million at the time. At 266 pages including 50 full-page illustrations, the book is considered a masterpiece of the 12th century Romanesque illuminated manuscript. Number 1. The Codex Leicester, by Leonardo da Vinci, cost $30.8 million. The most famous of da Vinci's scientific journals, the 72-page notebook is filled with the great thinker's handwritten musings, and theories on everything from fossils to the movement of water to what makes the moon glow. The manuscript was first purchased in 1717 by Thomas Coke, who later became the Earl of Leicester, and then in 1980, bought from the Leicester estate by art collector Armand Hammer, whose name the manuscript bore for the 14 years he owned it. In 1994, Bill Gates nabbed the journal at auction for $30,800,000, making it the most expensive book ever purchased. But hey, at least Gates put his purchase to good use. He had the book scanned and turned into a screensaver distributed with Microsoft Plus for Windows 95. This was all about today's video. We hope you like it. Subscribe our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.